Welcome to this recording. This is to help you assist students when they're writing questionnaires. I want to use first of all something that in maths we use a lot, and it's something called town. T-O-W-N. We use that for 5 reasons. One is to remember that our questions should be time limited. How many times do you go swimming, and then asking them whether that's once, twice, 5 times is no use at all if we don't know for how long the time period is. The question should be, how often do you go swimming in a month? How often do you go swimming in a year? The next one, the O, stands for overlap and also for other. Dealing with the other first of all, whenever we ask a question, we want people to be able to respond, and hopefully in the categories that we've suggested for them, but we must always give them an other option in case we haven't thought of something that they actually do or want to record. The overlap is more about when you're asking a question, perhaps it's about money. How much do you spend on sweets in a month? 0 to £2, £2 to £4, £4 to £6. All of those are incorrect because I wouldn't know where to put the £2. Does the £2 go in the 0 to 2, or does the £2 go in the 2 to 4? Where is remembered by W, sometimes also who and when. And that's about where you're asking your question, who you're asking your question to, and when you ask it. If you're trying to find out about shopping habits, just standing outside Tesco's and doing all research is likely to be unfair because it will be biased. You're not looking at a representative sample of all people. So the W stands for where. If you only ask school children, it would be biased, and if you only ask people shopping there at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, it would probably also be biased because all those working people and school children should be otherwise occupied. The last one, N, stands for none. Whenever we ask a question, we also like to give a none option. So for example, how much do you spend on sweets in a month? You ought to give the option of none. Okay, I'm now going to look at a questionnaire that I saw when I was walking around doing the audit of maths across the curriculum. This is a genuine questionnaire. I've actually asked a student to copy it up for me so we couldn't recognise the handwriting of who it actually was. But I just want to look at this and say how I may improve it if I was to be teaching this. First of all, these are questions that I'm going to ask outside Peggy's pantry. So straight away I can see it's a questionnaire. So if I was marking it, in my head I would have town, but I suggest if you're not used to marking questionnaires or helping students with questionnaires, you write down town as well, and then you can write in your little time limited, just to make you think. Overlap. I'm also going to put other there. Where, when, who, and then none. So now I can use that little rubric there to help me mark or assist the student with this work. So first of all, I'm slightly concerned because they're asking outside Peggy's pantry. Now that's fine if they're there to help with Peggy's pantry, but I would question whether or not it's going to lead to a biased sample. Looking at the questions, first of all, how old are you? 13 to 15, 16 to 19. We don't have an overlap, that's pretty good actually, but also we don't have many options and we don't have an other. So there really ought to be an extra bit in there that would be other. Next question. How easy is it for you to access Peggy's pantry? Easy, okay, quite hard. Unfortunately, we don't really have a rubric for this one, but my big criticism of this is that an individual's interpretation of easy will be different according to who they are. What I consider easy may not be easy for you, and what I consider quite hard, you may actually think is quite easy. If you're going to have that type of feeling or attitude survey, you're far better off rating on a scale from 0 to maybe 5 and asking people to mark on where they are. How do you usually get there? Walk, get driven, catch the bus. Well, I could have come on my bike, I could have jogged there, I could have come on my broomstick. So we need another, and that's there to help me. Are the products in appropriate places? Yes, kind of. No, I mean, that's so vague I can't begin to think what that means. We again maybe need an appropriate scale from 0 to 5, and you may say always find it, never find it. Have you ever seen any advertising from there? Yes. Please state where, or no. It's not so bad, that question. Are the prices of pastries reasonable at 40p to £2.90? Yes. They're okay. No. If they're okay, then they're yes. Again, there's some ambiguity there. Question number 7. Are the cakes reasonable prices at 40p to £3.99? Yes, they're okay. No. Dealt with that question there. Question 8. I've got 2 criticisms here. How many times have you been to Peggy's Pantry? Well, this could be the Lifetime Award, or it could be the Last Week Award, or if you're particularly fond of your pastries and cakes, it might be in the last hour. We have no idea how often they're going because we don't know at what time limit it was. So that's where the time limit bit of our town comes in. The question must say, how many times have you been to Peggy's Pantry in the last year, or in the last month, in the last week, in the last 3 minutes? When we come to the next bit, 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 or more, let's just say I had remembered it was going to be in the last month, and I went once. Do I tick this box for 0 to 1, or do I tick that box for 1 to 3? Again, there's ambiguity. It's not an accurate way to record. The last question, do you think they should sell sandwiches? Yes or no? Well, that's fairly clear there. Not much you can do about that. But overall, I'd really like it when students are doing questionnaires to have this idea of town there. It's something we teach them in maths when they're getting ready for their exam, because they have a very similar exercise to what I've just done, where they're giving a questionnaire and they have to criticise particular questions on that questionnaire for various reasons. And then we do tell them to write town down, and they do write town in the exam, and they're just checking off against these things, looking for where the question of the examiner has made a mistake. Okay. It might be good if you now try your own questionnaire without making those type of mistakes.